Hi everybody, this is Chef Joe Louie, and today we are going to make short ribs, but we're going to do it a little bit differently than normal. Normally I would do it braising it in the oven or on a stovetop, but today we're going to use a pressure cooker, because pressure cookers, which were very big back in the 60s especially, are making a comeback, and they're a lot of fun, and they're easy to do. And they're not as dangerous as they were back in the 60s when housewives would blow the ceilings right up with when these things exploded. So today we're going to make that. So let's start by searing our products that we're going to use. So we're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to put it right into the pot that we're going to be doing. Into the pot like that. And then we're going to throw in, this is 1 whole medium onion chopped. You can hear the sizzle. And 2 stalks of celery that have been chopped. Now normally I would be doing also carrots, but today we're going to be using beets as part of our pressure cooking, and that's going to bring a lot of sweetness to our short ribs, so there's no reason really to use the carrots, because the beets have so much sugar in them that they're really going to take the place for it. So we're stirring this around, and we're just getting this kind of sauteed a little bit in the oil. And I'm also going to then put in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Okay. Alright, we got our minced garlic in there. It's already starting to smell pretty good. Too bad I don't have smell-o-vision with this. That would be awesome. Alright. So now we're going to just move our our celery and our onions and garlic over a little bit, because we want to brown our short ribs. Now I have seasoned these short ribs with salt and pepper, and that's it. And I'm going to put them right into the hot pan, and we're going to brown them. And we're not going to be able, it's going to be a little bit tough to get them all in. By the way, we've got a total of 8 short ribs for our recipe today. Alright. So we're going to let those brown for a couple of minutes. And the reason we want to brown them, obviously, is first of all, we want to sear in those the seasonings, the salt and the pepper. The other thing is you want to give them a little color when we get into the pressure cooking a little bit. All right. Now that we've let that go for a couple of minutes, now we're going to throw in our beets. We're going to put those right on top. So those are 3 beets that I have, fresh beets that I've peeled, and we've quartered them. So that's a total of 3 beets. Now we're going to put in liquids, and you've got to put in liquid when you're pressure cooking. That's part of the whole chemistry of it. So today we're going to put in a cup of liquid. I'm using half a cup of beef stock. You can also use beef broth. And I'm using half a cup of red wine. Because I like to, when I make short ribs, I always like to have wine in it. So we've got that going. Now we are going to close our pressure cooker. And you got it, most pressure cookers, you look at it and they don't want to close, but there's usually arrows that tell you how to do it. And we are going to, it's always tough to get that right, but there we go, we got it. Alright, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to bring this up. It's shut tight. We're going to bring it up to a boil, and you'll start to hear the hiss of the steam. And I'm putting this little valve on it, and it will come up to full pressure, and then we'll start cooking. And we're going to do this. We're going to actually make braised short ribs in a pressure cooker in a total of 30 minutes, which is literally 10% of the time that it would take in the oven, at a 300-degree oven where you slow cook. So we're talking 30 minutes instead of 3 hours. So let's take a break, and we'll wait for this to come up, and we'll be right back. As you can hear, we are getting our pressure up going now. That means that the pressure is built up because it's boiling in there. And what you're hearing is the release of a little bit of steam that comes out. You always have to make sure you have a little bit of steam coming out, because if you don't, you are going to you're going to blow its top. So it has to release a little steam the whole time. So now we've set the timer for 30 minutes, and we are going to let it go for 30 minutes, and then we will be back. Hi, so we're back, and you can hear my timer's going off, so it's been 30 minutes. We're going to shut off the timer, and we're going to see what happens with our pressure cooker meal. So now what you want to do with this is you've got to release the pressure before you can open the thing. So we're releasing the pressure a little bit here. And then we're going to help do that now, we're going to take this and we're going to put it under running water, cold water, for a couple minutes. That also will help release the pressure. So we're releasing the pressure, and you can hear it. And you want to wait until you can hear that all the pressure is gone. And the pressure is gone. So now we can pick it back up, and we'll bring it right here so we're off the heat. And let's open it up and see what happened. And it's amazing. I haven't even shown you yet, but I'm looking at it here. Can you get in there with that? See it? So let me bring that right over. So there's our food that's been in the pressure cooker for only 30 minutes. And what you can see is we have some beautiful, perfectly cooked short ribs. So we've got our short ribs. Our beets are perfectly cooked. And we're ready we're going to pull these out now. And what we're going to do is, after we pull these out and we pull the beets out, we're going to, we've got this beautiful liquid that's left. That was our braising medium, which was the wine and the beef stock. So now what we're going to do with it is we're going to make a sauce with that, and that way we'll have sauce for our beef ribs. So I'm ready. All right, so we're back, and so now what I've done is I emptied the contents of, after we took out the short ribs and the beets, and I then strained the contents of it, and so that we could separate the into a gravy strainer. And that really, if you remember how we put in a full cup of 1 whole onion and 2 stalks of celery, and that's what we have left, as you can see. So it did its job, because what we were trying to do from those is extract the flavor of those. So that did its job, and we're done with that. And as you can see, I've got this in a strainer, and now what I'm going to do is pour this into a pot, because we're going to make our gravy, and that's what's left is mostly the fat that I've just gotten rid of. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce this down to make a gravy for it. You also want to throw a little salt in there and a little pepper. because what you're trying to do is you want to give that some seasoning to it, because the only seasoning it had from the very beginning was whatever seasoning was on the short ribs, and you're hoping that your short ribs kept most of the seasoning. We're going to plate. So we've got these beautiful short ribs here, and actually what I think I might do is, yeah, we'll put our short ribs. You want your short ribs are the centerpiece of this whole thing, and so we'll set those up real nice and make them look pretty, and get those nice like that. Let's get those to stand up. Oh, we want them to stand up nice. All right. Let's get one more or two more. All right, so we have our 4 short ribs here. Okay, and then we need our beets. Have some nice beets. Okay, and then we need our sauce. I'm going to take our nice hot sauce, and we're going to drizzle it. Oh, that looks beautiful. We'll drizzle some right over the short ribs that we've got. And there you go, folks. We've got short ribs that were braised in literally 30 minutes in a pressure cooker with our beets. And the beets, as you know, beets in an oven take up about 45 minutes. So again, we sped up the time on that also. And we're ready to eat. So cheers to you.